You want to fix the camera, John?
There we go.
Hey, Zach and Jake here for Dirt Road Men. And John messing up the camera when he hits play. Spend all that time making sure the camera angle is good, and you push play and scoot it over.
You know what?
But we're here for another whiskey review. We enjoyed the whiskey.
It's nice.
We drank that over a few days. We're reviewing it now because it was like, do we want to wait until we buy another bottle, or do we want to review it while we have it? So here we are.
Here we is.
We like Japanese whiskey. This is our.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. And this isn't even the one story that we talked about when you got it. That was the other company.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Japanese do their whiskey well. It's basically a Scotch, but it's not made in Scotland. It's very similar in quality and flavor.
Yeah. When this is Suntory Toki.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they pronounce it.
We're not Japanese.
Suntory owns.
I know that's a shocker.
A lot. They own a lot of maybe what you like to drink a lot. They own Jim Beam.
And in owning Jim Beam, they also own Makers, Buffalo Trace. No, they don't own Buffalo Trace, do they?
No.
Buffalo Trace is owned by somebody. Yeah, the Basil Hayden's, that's what I was thinking
Maker's
of.
Mark, Knob Creek.
Yeah. So everything that's owned by Jim Beam, also owned by Suntory, and Suntory has a lot more than just Jim Beam.
Yeah, they own scotches. They have got some Irish whiskeys. I do not remember the names.
Right, that's not that relevant. We'll touch on them as we review them.
I don't want to say it and be wrong.
Yeah.
But I am 80%. They own either Lagavulin or Lafroig.
Yeah, I always get those two confused, even though, like, it's just because the names are so similar.
I've never had either one of them.
Lagavulin's not bad.
That's not Lagavulin.
That's not... Just break the glass.
Okay. What wasn't it, sir? Anything worth drinking.
So it has like a really sweet nose. I don't notice much smokiness on the nose.
No, not a whole lot. It's like it's fruity, not like girly fruity, like manly fruity, like apple.
Yeah, it's still a wheat-based whiskey. Man, I forgot how good that was. That was my first sip. Yeah, it's got some fruity notes, definitely.
Maybe gala apples.
Yeah.
It's kind of appley. Maybe some pear. I could see.
Now that you mention it, yeah.
Yeah, I could see some pear in there. I don't know that they use fruits.
I don't know, but I don't think so. So this guy, I saw, he really studied like literature of how the Scotch made whiskey to duplicate it. Did you want to give their backstory? Thanks for turning off the airplane hangar.
You're welcome, because somebody else turned it back on.
They went from just one guy giving it everything he had to make a whiskey to being a huge corporation.
They're like the second or third biggest whiskey company in the world, aren't they?
Yeah, and they don't only do whiskey. They have foods and soft drinks like soda pop.
Yeah,
and
there's so much stuff.
It's crazy.
I'd want to be one of his descendants.
See, his name.
If I had to be Asian.
And this might be...
We're not Japanese, so if we mispronounce things, just get over it. Stop disclaiming yourself and just say it.
Shinjiro Tori was the first master blender and Suntory's founder. They started building the Suntory distillery in 1923, and he went and found like the best land he could find, and had a nice water source near it. And
yeah, he was really particular based on the literature.
Yes.
On where he made it.
And that was in 1923. Before
less than 100 years.
Yeah, before that, he worked in a, don't remember what they called it, but he was selling wine.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in like the late 1800s. I think he started in like 1899.
Mm-hmm.
So for around 20 years, he was already marketing alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just trying to build a distillery. And then in 1923, he took everything he had and put it into building a distillery at the Yamazaki.
Yes.
I want to say Kamikaze.
Don't do that! We might make some people mad.
Yeah, Yamazaki.
Alright, but they didn't put out their first whiskey for a few years, right?
No, I mean, yeah,
because you gotta age it and everything, but...
Yeah, you gotta build everything, so...
that's the scary thing about opening a distillery. If you don't source your whiskey, which some people get snobby about, as we've heard, you have 4 years before your business is gonna make any money.
Yeah, you're just spending money. I don't know about anybody else out there. I don't have enough...
I don't have 4 years of funds to do that.
No.
Yeah.
But it took 6 years, so in 1929 they made their first whiskey. They actually were selling it.
Mm.
Shiro Fuda. And it was not very well accepted. It wasn't...
Yeah, it wasn't well received?
Yeah. Received. That's the word.
Yeah, I'm the wordier one, I know.
Alright. So... And they marketed it to kind of compete with the scotches and the other whiskeys out there, but mainly tasting it, you can see where the Scotch influence was definitely there.
Yeah. Don't forget to tell them. You keep talking to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm just talking to you.
Yeah.
I feel like if I look directly into the camera, it's gonna steal my soul. That's a joke.
That is Steve's job.
Steve, don't look at me, man. Okay. I'm gonna kick Steve across the room, man.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, the Shirafuda wasn't widely received. Marketing kind of with the Scotch. And then in 1937, they came out with a Kakubin. Was that one of Steve's eyes? Kakubin. And it was liked. I've never had it.
It's gone, man. Steve's Odin now. I'm sorry, Steve. Tell the story!
I'm sorry. I've got like Full Metal Jacket going on in the back of my head, and I will gouge out your eyes.
Hey now!
Thumbs up you right up there, man. Yeah, 37. They came out with Kakubin. Good whiskey. Almost 50 years later, they came out with Yamazaki.
Which was their first single malt, right?
Their first single malt, yes.
Right.
And
now I was talking to a buddy about this. Single malt. Now the Whiskey Vault guys go through this a few times, but single malt doesn't actually just mean it's like one malt.
No, it's
two separate words.
Yeah, it's
malted barley from one distillery.
Yes.
It's cool. I got it. I'm on it.
No, I was gonna say it, but I was trying to figure out which order I wanted to say it in. Because with that logic, it should be malt single. Their first malt single.
Right. It's from one single distillery, malted barley.
Yes.
And you can also have blended malt, which would mean multiple distilleries, more than one distillery. And then if it was grain, it would be primarily grain whiskey, like wheat or corn or something.
I love corn whiskey, man.
Yeah, bourbon?
Bourbon.
Yeah. But anyway, sorry, continue.
Welcome to America. And then they came out with the Hibiki.
Which is still one of their more popular ones.
Yes, the Yamazaki, the Hibiki, and the Hakashu. I think it's the Hakashu.
Mm-hmm.
Or this is a blended whiskey, and those three I think are what go into this.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So this is like the best of all worlds, if you will.
Sure. I could get on board with that.
We haven't tried the other ones yet, so we're just going off the fact that we really enjoyed this one. This is like a week-old bottle. I'm just being honest, man.
Yeah. About a week ago, my wife was like, "Hey, go to the store with me." And I'm like, "Nah." She's like, "I'll get you something." I was like, "You got to get me some whiskey." And she was like, "Okay." So we went to the liquor store, and I picked this out, and she said, "Okay." So it is flipping phenomenal.
But yeah, so in less than 100 years, they became like the second or third biggest whiskey company in the world.
Yeah.
And they bought Jim Beam in 2014.
They got Jim Beam.
I want to know who's bigger because their name's the only one I know. But don't rack your brain about it right now. We got to get through this.
Okay. They're very French sounding. They own a lot of Canadian stuff. Shit-duff. Shit-duff.
And why don't we have Canadian whiskey on here yet?
Because, from what I understand, the Canadians hoard all the good stuff and just send us their garbage.
Thank you, Daniel and Mooch from the Whiskey Vault. Daniel and Rex. Yeah.
Those guys are great.
They are. That's a good channel. If you're watching us and not watching them, you should really check them out.
Yeah. Do that.
And Daniel knows his stuff better than we do right now. We're actually planning to go to their school to get some whiskey classes here soon.
We're kind of fangirling a little bit.
A little bit. But you know, we do a foray of things. Whiskey is one of our divisions. Your favorite, obviously.
Yeah.
I think mine's cigars. Whiskey secondary.
Cool,
but anyway,
other reasons.
Yeah. So, do you get anything else when you're drinking it aside from the fruity notes you named in the nose? I get a little bit of that smoke flavor, but like just not very smoky at all. It's like slightly smokier than Monkey Shoulder, which will be up before this. So.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. On the taste, I get the Appellate Perry.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more prominent coming off of a bourbon.
Yeah, we did a bourbon review video before this, but yeah, we also tasted them like back to back earlier.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it wasn't a bourbon. We reviewed Jack, Tennessee whiskey.
It's still bourbon.
Yeah, but we don't need to go into that again. I'm just saying, technically.
But do we?
No. But yeah, so this whiskey. Now, granted, we've just kind of started getting into not bourbon, if we're being honest with ourselves. This is one of the better ones.
I would recommend it.
Yeah, I would give it a solid 8. What do you think?
8 sounds good.
I'm gonna start making you rate first.
Okay. Okay. Let's let me rate first. 8.5.
And we have another 2.5 rating. You just gotta one up me. Is that what it is?
That might be. Compensating.
All right, so yeah, 8.5. So it's better than Jack.
I do like this better than Jack Daniels. And
we're giving Momo crap because Jack is his favorite whiskey.
I swear to whatever deity you believe in, if you cut my arm, I will bleed red, white, and blue. And this Japanese whiskey is better than Jack Daniels in my personal opinion. Jonathan Morrison.
But it's not better than...
Hey, I got a thumb instead of a finger.
Everyone has a right to their own opinion.
Yeah. And we're the guys in front of the camera this week, so...
Because this is America. America. If you drop the A or you change the E to a U, you might get punched in the throat.
What if you leave the A but still change the E to a U?
You might get hit twice.
Now you're just not committing and that makes you a pansy.
Yes.
Or another word close to pansy but not quite.
A lily? A daffodil? A daisy. It makes you a daisy.
You're a daisy if you do.
Because that's what you're going to be pushing up.
Alright, so that's it from us today. Suntory Toki Whiskey.
Suntory Toki Whiskey.
So, you guys enjoy yourselves and cheers.